So let me start the recording. All right, there we go. So today we're going to be learning about the Campaign Builder basics. We're going to learn how to build a basic, simple campaign. If you've been doing Infusionsoft for a really long time and you already know how to do the Campaign Builder with all the bells and whistles, this is probably going to be really boring for you. So you can just email me at basictraining@infusionsoft.com and I'll get any questions answered. Under my picture, you can see my email address right there. And that's my boat. I'm going to be going on it this weekend, so I can't wait. It's not really a nice boat, but it's a fun boat. So by the end of this webinar, you'll be able to build out a simple campaign. As I said before, if you've been using all the bells and whistles, this probably is not the webinar for you. And I'm going to show you where to go to get campaigns for free. And if anybody knows me by now, you know that I love giving out free things to you guys so you don't have to pay more money for the basic education. With your Infusionsoft app, you do have access to our Help Center. It's located at help.infusionsoft.com. You have access to our user guide, access to our tech support numbers, and access to more self-help learning. There is a webinar tab at our Help Center, and if you click in it, you can either sign up for our basic training webinars, which are the same 3 every week, or you can have access to the mastermind webinars. So you can search for a webinar, and they're sitting right there. So you can peruse down the list, click in it, and watch a webinar right from there. So that's help.infusionsoft.com. I'm also going to give you this free gift, and I promise you I've gotten so many emails about people that love this. It was created by one of our software trainers, and it is a campaign builder overview. It's kind of like a tech writing on every single piece of the campaign builder. It's about 5 pages long. It goes over every single portion with an arrow, and then it describes it on the bottom. You will use this more than you'll watch the recording. It's amazing. It's excellent, and I'm going to be sending this to you so the people that come live get this one. It's the only way you can get it, so thank you for joining me. So our campaign builder, there's just 2 things that you really need to remember. I used to say they were ingredients, but I took that out so I can be faster. A campaign begins with a goal, and a goal is what you want the contact to do. So remember that. It's represented in Infusionsoft with a circle, and it's what you want the contact to do. And welcome, Fritz. Thanks for joining us today. You just got here. So goal is what you want the contact to do. There's lots of different goals inside of our Campaign Builder toolbar. There's a web form is submitted. We call that a web form. You may call it a Contact Us form, or a Sign Up form, or a Register Now form. There's a landing page is submitted, a tag is applied, an email link is clicked, or a product is purchased. There's lots of different goals. If you want to learn more about those goals, you can go to our Help Center and just type in campaign goals, and it will go over every single one of those. But today, for time's sake, we're going to focus on creating a web form, a form that you can put on your website or use in a Facebook ad or use in a pay-per-click or on your LinkedIn. We call it a web form. You may know it as a Contact Us form. The first thing that happens in a campaign is a goal is reached. A contact reaches a goal. It's what you want your contact to do. When a goal is reached, it automatically, Infusionsoft automatically pushes those contacts into a sequence. And our sequence is represented by a rectangle with a clock in the middle. And those are supposed to be 2 emails at the end, but they look like barbells. When a goal is achieved, the goal that we want to achieve is a web form is filled out, successfully filled out. It's going to push that contact into a sequence. And I'll talk about that, Felipe. There's a new goal called the Wordpress Goal, and I'll talk about that at the end so I can keep on a roll here. As you can see, there's lots of stuff in the toolbar that can happen in the sequence. You can communicate by sending an email. You can print off a letter. You can automatically send off a fax or a voice broadcast, which costs extra money. The fax and voice broadcast are done from different things. You can automatically apply a tag. You can apply a note to the contact record. You can create a task to remind you to do something. There's lots of stuff that happens in there. Let me show you an example. You can send an automated email once that goal is reached. You can put in a timer. You can send another email. You can put in another timer for maybe a week, and then set a task for yourself to remember to call or send that person something in the mail. So you can do lots of cool stuff in that sequence. So what you need to remember is a goal, attaches to a sequence with a little arrow. And if you can remember goal attaches to a sequence, you can build a simple campaign that will get you to the place to start building more complex campaigns. A goal connects to a sequence with an arrow. Let me get into the Infusionsoft application and show you how to build a campaign. I'm going to start off at my dashboard because when you first open up Infusionsoft, you're going to land in your dashboard. Let me get out of my make sure my phone doesn't ring during the middle of this and scare the pants off of you guys and me. Because it will ring and then you guys will be scared. All right, I do not disturb me. So on the dashboard, to get to the campaign builder, we're going to hover over the Infusionsoft logo. We're going to come to the marketing section and down to campaign builder and click it one time. When you click it, you will see that I do have some campaigns in here already. If you would like to get campaigns for free and check out any campaigns, you can go to Get Campaign Templates, open it up, and you can do a search. Now, it's kind of like, what am I going to search for? What do I want to do? If you put in the words icon17, ICON17, it's going to bring up a library of our newest campaigns. Some are Get Referrals. Some are Capture New Leads. Some are Customer Welcome Plus Wow. But you can go in there and search for anything, birthday campaign, register for an event campaign, and that campaign will appear and you can install it right into your Infusionsoft application for free. I think it's really important to learn the basics first, so we're going to build a campaign out from scratch first. Then you'll understand those pre-built campaign templates inside of our marketplace. This white button right here, Get Campaign Templates, will send you to our marketplace. I'm going to click on this green button that says Create a Campaign, and when I click on that one time, it's going to ask me to name the campaign. The Judy Miller word of thumb, I've been teaching things all week. Name it what makes sense to you. So this is going to be Offer Sign Up, because that makes sense to me. That's what it is. I'm going to put a form on my website for people to sign up for an offer. So I'm going to name it what it is. If you have lots and lots of people working in your application, have them put their initials at the beginning, and then you can decipher which one is yours and which one is theirs. Once I hit Save, it's going to automatically open up my Infusionsoft blank campaign canvas. My toolbar is on the left, my canvas is on the right, and if you want to find out more about our WordPress Goal, Felipe, this should pop up and you can click here to find out more about it. So Felipe asked about that. It's one of our new goals. So here's my blank canvas. If I need to go back to my campaign library, I just come up to this black toolbar and I can go back to my campaign library. If I hate the name of my campaign, somebody else named it and I don't like it, all the way to the right you'll see Actions, and I can rename my campaign just like that. So there's lots of cool stuff that you can do with that black toolbar. If you remember on the slide, I said a campaign begins with a goal, and I hope that you thought of that in your head. So I'm going to start out my campaign with a goal. I'm going to come to the goal section of my toolbar. I'm going to grab Webform and I'm going to drag it off onto my canvas. When I do, a blue bar appears, and that's just telling you, give me a different name. Don't leave me as the default name Webform Submitted. So I'm just going to name it what it is, Offer Sign Up. Doesn't that make sense? Pretty soon you're going to have lots of forms. Name them what they are so that you can find them easily if you want to make copies of them. So I'm going to pause for a second so you guys can take notes if you want. And I'm back. I like to build out the foundation first, and then I like to go into each area and start working on it. So a goal is connected to a sequence. And I hope that you guys remember sequence. I come up to sequences, I grab the sequence, and I move it right to the right of my goal. The bar turns blue underneath, which is telling you, give it a different name. Don't leave it as Untitled Sequence. You may want to copy it someday, and if everything's called Untitled Sequence, you won't know the difference. So I'm going to name this Welcome and offer series. That's it. That's simple. Now I need to connect the goal to the sequence. To connect two items in the campaign builder, you go to the icon to the left, hover over it, an arrow will appear, and then I'm just going to move the arrow into the sequence, and there's the beginning of my campaign, a goal and a sequence. Now I'm going to use the Infusionsoft shopping cart because I have one product, so I'm going to add another goal. I'm going to rename it Book Purchased, and then I'm going to hover over the icon to the left, grab the arrow, and move it together. This is my simple campaign. Goal pushes to a sequence, and if they click on the link to purchase, there's another goal right there. And that's a very simple campaign, so let's go and start building it out. The first thing I'm going to do is show you that all of these icons right here are gray. Gray means default, not ready. I'm going to put my cursor inside the web form and I'm going to double click it. And because I chose a web form as my goal, the Webform Builder is going to open up. It's going to open up in default mode, and I get to make the form the way I want to make it. If you are using this on your website, you probably don't need your image or your logo. But if you're going to use it for a Facebook ad, I definitely put my logo here. I do need a title because this is going to go on my website. So I'm going to come to Snippets, right in the little tabs right in the middle. I'm going to grab title, put it on the top, and I'm going to go offer sign up. I may want to put in some content, so I'm going to grab a paragraph, and down here I'm going to highlight it because it's just Latin right now, and I'm going to put get this great offer now and save money and time, but mostly money. I can even highlight my content, come to format, and I can make the font darker so you can see it better. Pretty easy so far, right? Now I want there to be some space between my content and my first label, because it's a little squishy. So I'm going to come to Snippets, grab the spacer, put it right under my content, and hit save, and now there's some space between it. Looks better. The first name field and the email field are already there. If for some reason you need their last name, because the first name snippet's already there, just click on it. This box will automatically pop up, and you can hit last name too. You can require it or not require it by toggling on that little button that says required or not required, right here. Email is already there. If you need other fields, come to the field snippets and just say that I needed their phone number because they're signing up for a free consultation. I can grab phone and drop it where I want to drop it. This box will automatically appear. You can require it or not require it. And it's going to go into the phone one group inside Infusionsoft, but you can change the label to your best number. And whatever you label it, it will automatically show up on your form, but it will automatically go into the Infusionsoft phone field. I don't really want their phone number, so I'm going to hover over it and hit the trash can. But if you needed their address, you can put in their address. If you want to say, hey, would you like to get my newsletter? You can put a checkbox. You can play around with these and go to our Help Center and find out about each one of those field snippets. But we're going to leave it like this. I do want to make my content a little bit bigger, so I'm going to highlight over it, go to Format, and change the font size. There we go. The next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to change the Submit button. The Submit button is gray. It doesn't really stand out, and submit is a very generic, and I'm doing my air quotes, it's a very generic word. So I'm going to double click the submit button, and when I do, the button builder opens up. I'm going to change it to send offer now, and put a couple exclamation points. I can change the alignment, and if I toggle down from the advanced styling button, it's going to let me change the color. I don't need to know a color code. I can just click in that box and a palette appears, and I'm going to make it one of my favorite colors, which is kind of a teal. I can change the font. I can make the border wider or thinner. I can round the corners, make them more round or less round, and I can change the size of my button if I want to. So it's pretty self-explanatory. You get to style your button right here, and when I hit save, you'll see that my button changed, and it's a little bit thicker because I made the border a little bit thicker. You can do some other cool things with your form by coming to Layout and Style. I like to come to Layout and Style, click on the Layout, and I like to change my label position. So if you look at first name, last name, and email, the label filling out is to the right, and I want it to be above, just like that. And then I want to make my form a little bit thinner, just by coming to Form Width. And that's perfect. That looks great. So I finished my form. I can always go back and change it if I want to, but this looks pretty good. The next thing you do is you come up to the draft button right on the top. It looks like a little zipper, and you change it to ready. And all ready does is gives you a visual inside your campaign that says, hey, I've already worked on that and it's not in default mode anymore. Now I'm done with my form. I love it. It looks great. So I'm going to go to my next tab, which is called the Thank You page. When you click on the Thank You page, it's going to look exactly like this. And all the Thank You page is real estate for you to let anyone that fills out that form know they had a successful submission. Sometimes I fill out forms 4 or 5 times because I never know if it's right or not because it goes right back to the form. So I fill it out 4 times. This gives you real estate to say, hey, you did it. This is what to expect. Of course, you're not going to keep that logo because that's not your logo. So I'm going to double click it and I'm going to add my logo. I'm looking for the Infusionsoft hearts. There it is. Insert. And there's my logo right there. When I put my logo in, I can make it bigger or smaller just by coming here and manually resizing it. Double click and manually resize. You can just hit one of these arrows and make it bigger or smaller just like that. It defaults to thanks for filling out our form, and it will grab their first name. So if they type in Santa, it'll say thanks for filling out our form, Santa. You can change this just by hovering over it. You got it. It will put in their first name. You are on the fast track to saving some money. And then if you hover down here where it says we will contact you shortly, this is really important. There's an important tip. I would definitely put some content in here letting them know you should be receiving an email in a couple of seconds. If you don't, please check your spam folder. They have a way of sneaking in there, or check your Gmail's promotion tab. Now there's articles on, if you go to our help center, on getting people to not go into the promotions tab and how to stop them from going in your spam folder. And we won't get into that, but you can certainly go into our help center and read more about it. But this will let them know, check your spam folder if you don't get an email in a minute. And we always recommend that click here to continue browsing. You put something like, hey, get back to my website. Highlight it. Come to the link that's right above the little baby heart and put in your web address. At least they'll have somewhere to go instead of just clicking on something and just getting a thank you page and then being stuck. This is the thank you page. The next tab is your settings tab. Your settings tab will let you know that it will auto-populate if you have a second form. It will check for duplicates. And if you want to be notified every single time you get a new lead, if you want an email that says, hey, Jonathan, you got a new lead. The name is Judy, the last name is Miller, here's her phone number, and she clicked that she wants to be in your newsletter. It will give you all the information that you asked for in that form. If you want to get notified, just put your email address under notification email. If you want someone else to be notified, put a comma, and put their email address. They don't have to be a user inside Infusionsoft to be notified. So if my sister lives in Texas and she's sending off my book, she'll get the information. She doesn't use Infusionsoft, but she'll still get that information with the person's address and be able to send off that book. The last thing you want to do in this settings is you want to put your email subject. Right now it says a web form was filled out. I'm going to put for my offer so that you know exactly which one, because pretty soon you're going to have lots of different forms. If you're getting too many bling, 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 too many opt-ins, and you don't want to be notified this way anymore, just get rid of your email address and it will stop notifying you. Doesn't mean that people aren't coming into Infusionsoft, it's just not sending you a little bling message every time. The last tab is the code tab, and I just want to let you know and reiterate, you don't go into the code tab until your campaign is published. You don't get your code until the campaign is published, because if you do, it'll just stay in default mode. And it will not show all the changes that you made on the form and on the thank you page. It will just show the default form and it will be a wah wah. You won't be very happy. Once you publish your campaign, that's when you come get the code. But I'm going to show you the code now anyway because we're here. So let me take a break for a second. And I'm back. Here's the code. If you have a web designer, a developer, or someone that's helping you, and you just want them to do it for you and them to get that web form on the website, you can click on Have Your Webmaster Do It right here. This drop down will appear and you can put in their email address and say, hey, can you get this on my website ASAP? And you never, ever, ever have to see the code ever, ever, ever. But don't send this email until your campaign's published. If you're going to do it yourself, you click on the Do It Yourself, and you can either use our JavaScript snippet or our HTML code snippet. If you use the HTML code, copy it, go to your website, go to your admin page, pick the page you want to put it on, and drop the code in the text box. Once you republish your website, the web form will appear on your website. The only difference between the JavaScript snippet and the HTML snippet is the JavaScript snippet, this little snippet of code right here, will make any changes so you don't have to put the code back in. So let me give you an example. I spelled a word wrong, and dang it, I need to change my form. When I change my form and I republish it, if I use a JavaScript snippet, it will mirror the image, the changes automatically. I don't have to go put the code back in. If I use the HTML code and I make a change on my form and republish it, I will have to go back to my website and re-put the code in. So Judy, why wouldn't I just use the JavaScript snippet all the time? Here's why. Sometimes the JavaScript snippet does not work with the theme you're using and it cuts off the submit button, and that would really suck. You're getting all these leads, but there's no button. So make sure you test it out first. For the most part, the JavaScript snippet does work, but sometimes there's a hiccup. Sometimes our JavaScript doesn't work with their theme. There's something that doesn't mesh together. It cuts off our button. If you don't have a website and you're just starting out and you're like, hey, I'm just going to run Facebook ads, come down to the hosted version, get your Facebook ad all set up, and Facebook's going to ask you, where do you want to send these people? What URL do you want to use? And you'll just copy this URL right here. I'm trying to highlight it, but it's highlighting everything. And pop that in that little place that says, give me your URL. You can use it in LinkedIn, Facebook, in an email, on a postcard, make a bit.ly link, any way you want to use it. Infusionsoft will hold that form for you, and you can just use that code right there. And I'll show you an example before the end of the webinar. The only difference between this form URL and this pretty URL is you can just change the ending to this. That's the only difference. You don't grab the code, you don't copy the code or the URLs until you publish your campaign. Now that we're done with our form, we're going to go back to our campaign, and now you'll see that the web form is, sorry, I'm trying to read questions and I really need to focus, and I'll get questions at the end, I promise. The web form is now light green with gray stripes, and that means that it's ready. It's not published, but it's a visual knowing that you did work on that. So I'm highlighting it in blue right now to show you. Now I want to work on my sequence. When I double-clicked on the form builder opened up. When I double-click on the sequence builder opens up just like that. Let me do it again. Go back to my campaign, put my cursor in the middle of the sequence, right in the middle of the clock, double-click, builder opens up just like that. The builder will always open up with a start button. You don't have to do anything to it. It's already green, and a start means it's just asking you, it's whispering in your ear, what do you want to happen next? Yes, somebody filled out the form. Now what? And you're probably thinking, I came to both Judy's webinars this week, and she was saying that we need to tag people so that we can organize our lists. So I want Infusionsoft to automatically tag this person that they want to sign up for my offer. So I'm going to come down to Process in my toolbar, make this a little smaller so you can see all the tools, Process, grab the tag, move it up, the arrow will automatically appear. The tag is gray, which means it's in default. I'm going to put my cursor in the tag, double-click, and the tag builder opens up. I already have a tag called Offer Signup, but I'm going to call this one May Offer Signup. Create my tag, hit Save, and my tag is now gray-green, which means that it's ready. If you want more than one tag, you can add more than one tag right there. Double-click, and I can add another tag, Beginner. There we go. Now it's applying 2 tags. The next thing I want to do is I want to send an email automatically. I promised them an email is going to be sent in a couple seconds, so I want to make sure Infusionsoft sends that email. So I'm going to come to Communications. I'm going to grab an email and put it right next to the tag. The arrow will automatically appear. A blue box appears. Every time you see that blue box, it means name me something different. So I'm going to call this Welcome and Offer 1. Double-click the email builder will open up. I can either create an email right on the fly here in my gallery, or I saved a template, and we talked about that yesterday, that if you create templates, you can drag them into the campaign builder and you don't have to make it again. So I'm going to come to My Templates, and I'm going to search and search and search for my email. Use template, and there it is. Check here now, maybe my Buy Now button, so I'm going to put this Buy Now. Set it ready, back to my series. As soon as they fill out the form, it pushes them into this sequence that's automatically going to apply 2 tags and send the first offer. Now what do I want to do? Well, I want to make sure I get another offer out to them just in case they didn't take advantage of the first email. But I don't want to send it immediately. I think I want to wait 2 days. So I'm going to come up to Timers. I'm going to grab the delay timer, double-click the timer because it's black, change it to 2 days, and hit the Save button. Now I'm going to send another email and give them the offer again, but maybe this is a little better offer. Maybe it's not 5% off, maybe it's 10% off. I can either come to Communications and grab the email again, or I can just make a copy of this one that's right here, the Welcome and Offer 1. It's already branded. It says everything I want. It has my shopping link. So I'm just going to right-click and make a duplicate and move it over. When you make a duplicate, the arrow doesn't appear, so you do have to come to the left icon, grab the arrow, move it into the middle. I do need to rename this because this is Offer 2, so I'm going to call this one Offer 2, 20% off. It's gray, so I'm going to double-click it, and I'm going to set it up. Of course, I'll come to my title and I'll give them a second. Second chance is the best. Set it ready. Go back to my sequence, and now it's green. I want to send another email just in case I didn't take the offer in the second email, so I'm going to put a delay timer. I can keep on going to the right, or I can bring it down and start going to the left. Double-click my clock. This time I'm going to wait 3 days. That's pretty good, 3 days. Hit save, and make a copy of my email. This time I'm going to move my email down, grab my arrow from above, and connect them. I'm going to change this title to Offer 3, 30%. And of course, you do need to double-click your email and make sure you change the title because you don't want the same title and you don't want the same content. Third time's a charm, that's what they say. Hit save. And then I'm going to put one more timer and one more email. Don't know what I'm going to put there yet. But I'm going to leave those gray so you can see what happens after you publish and things aren't published. So this is great. I have the first email going out immediately. 2 days later, the second email going out, and 3 days later, the third email going out. Once you're done with your sequence, and I can have these two not ready because that's going to take a while. It's going to be at least a week before they get that next one. I'm going to come up to the right-hand corner and set my sequence as ready. You do need to let Infusionsoft know that not only is your email ready, but your sequence is ready too. Go back to my campaign, and now you'll see that the web form is gray-green, the sequence is gray-green. I'm using Infusionsoft's e-commerce, so I'm going to double-click my product and tell Infusionsoft that if they purchase any product, because they only have one, I want them to be able to have a successful purchase. So that's my campaign. Goal, sequence, goal. If you're not using Infusionsoft's e-commerce, you're just going to take orders at the back of the room, just hit the X right here and you don't even have to have anything after this. Now I'm ready to publish. So I'm going to come over to the right and hit the publish button. And when I do, Infusionsoft will go through, sift through that campaign and see if everything looks good. This is the most important part. Campaign passes functional inspection. That means that everything that you have ready is going to work. Emails aren't personalized. That's okay. I just didn't put their first name in the emails. And let me hit the publish button again. And 2 elements are marked as not ready. And we knew that because in that sequence we have a timer and another email that are not marked as ready. So we do know that. I'm going to hit publish again, and Infusionsoft will publish that campaign that will take you to a different canvas. Your canvas will change. This is our campaign reporting. And if you want to learn more about this on our Help Center campaign reporting, we'll go over this, and it's getting better and better and better. Now let's test it out. I'm going to come up to the black toolbar, this little button that looks like a capsule with 2 separate sides. I'm going to hit Edit, and it will bring us back into our regular screen where you'll notice the colors are now emerald green. And emerald green means, yay, it's published. So let's test it out. I'm going to double-click Offer and Sign Up. It's going to open up my web form again, but now it's published. You can do it one of 2 ways. You can come here to the test button in the right-hand corner and test it out, but I'm going to go into the code and I'm going to click on the hosted version. When I do, this is what will appear. So if you're using a Facebook ad or LinkedIn or YouTube, whatever form that you make inside Infusionsoft, Infusionsoft will host it and it will look like whatever you made it to look like inside Infusionsoft. So I'm going to fill this out. I'm going to put in Judith. I'm going to put lots of H's so you can see how it changes. And my email address. Send offer now. And you'll see that the thank you page is going to appear with all of those H's because it picked up whatever I put in that field and dropped it right into that thank you page. Then I read right here, oh, I should get an email shortly. Awesome. And if I want to go back to their website, I can click right there and it will take me back to the website. So I know it worked. Cool. Now let's check out the Infusionsoft site. I'm going to open up another Infusionsoft tab. I'm going to come to contacts and I'm going to look for Judith with all of those H's. And it actually already had me in there because it matched my email address with my email address, but it did update my HHHHHRRRRR. Let's take a look at my contact record. I should have 2 tags added. I do. Beginner yoga student added on 5/11. May offer sign up added on 5/11. It worked. So we know Infusionsoft automatically put those tags in. The person that signed up won't know, but we'll know. We can go check. If I scroll down, you'll see that on the 11th, I got an email sent. Here it is. You can see that I was in another campaign, and third time's a charm, or is it? I just got that too because I was in the campaign from last week. But you'll notice I got this one just now. Here it is. If you click in the middle on this little campaign tab and scroll down, you can see that today I signed up. Offer sign up May 11th at 10:37. It applied 2 tags. Here's the tags it applied at 10:37, and it sent an email. If you scroll down a little bit, you can see that on the 15th, offer number 2, and the 18th, offer number 3. And I know just what you're thinking. You're like, oh my, Judy, what happens if they buy the first offer in email number 1? I don't want them to get email number 2 with 20% off and email number 3 with 30% off. They would be as mad as a rattlesnake. Let me show you how that works inside Infusionsoft. Go back to the campaign, make it bigger. And let me move this up. So I'm holding the Shift key and my right click and I can move my campaign around. If you will notice, when you look at this sequence right here, you'll see there's a little blue flag in the left-hand bottom corner. When you click on that flag, Infusionsoft is automatically set up to default this. When the next goal is achieved, please Infusionsoft stop this immediately and push them further on down the funnel. Push them out of this sequence because they already bought and we don't want them to get the other emails. So when they meet the next goal, Infusionsoft will automatically stop whatever going on to the left. It automatically defaults to when the next goal is achieved, stop. Push them further on down the funnel. I'm sure you've heard that saying before. Some ask, why would we run it till completed? Well, my sequence may be, my sign up may be, get my 5 basic yoga pose book. When they sign up for it, I promise them a 5-part series, so I need to give them the 5-part series even if they purchased my book or they purchased my free pass or they purchased whatever I wanted them to purchase. I still want them to get the 5 basic poses because I promised them in this email series. When they signed up here, I promised them a 5-part series. So when I click on the flag, I would change it to, hey, Infusionsoft, even if they buy my book and reach the next goal, I don't care. I mean, I do care, but please just keep on sending them this series. I want them to get the whole series. It automatically defaults to stop immediately and hit save. You can have another sequence here. And after they purchase, this sequence can be called New Customer Sequence. And when you double click in here, you can add a tag called a customer tag. Double click, customer. Wow, I cannot type right now. Give them a customer tag and send them an email with whatever they purchased. If they purchased a five-day pass, awesome. Here's deliver pass. Goal, sequence, goal, sequence. This may be a 5-day pass. And then I may have a 10-day pass. If they clicked on the link to buy the 5-day pass, they're going to go into the 5-day pass sequence. If they clicked on the link for the 10-day pass, they're going to get the 10-day pass sequence, just like that. If you have 5 products, you can have 5 different shopping carts with each product. Now I bet you're thinking, oh no, Judy, I just went to an event and I have 25 people that I added into Infusionsoft last week. I finally made my campaign and I want to put them into the campaign because they wanted information about my offer. Do I have to make them go to my website and fill out that form? How can I just get them into this campaign? Let me show you. Come to your contacts. Make it a little bit smaller. Click on the people that you want to drop into the campaign, or if you hit this little ID right here, it will pick all of your people, but I don't want to pick everybody. I'm just going to pick 5 people. 1, 2, 3. I'm trying to pick the people with email addresses 4 or 5. So there's who I want to drop in the campaign. As soon as you choose the people that you want to add, come to Actions, and all the way down to the almost bottom, about 3 up, it says Start or Stop a Campaign Sequence. Click it 1 time, and this page will appear. You searched for 5 people. What do you want to do? Well, I want them to start in the offer sign-up campaign, and I want them to go into the Welcome and Offer series. And once you hit the Process Action button, it will grab those people, be it 5 or 15 or 75 or 175, and drop them into the campaign just like that, automatically. If we go back to our campaigns, offer and sign up, there's 1 person in there, and if I click on that, it's going to show up with Judith with 3 H's, 4 H's, 5 H's. I can also come and do a search, and I can say, okay, Infusionsoft, I want to go into my contacts, and I want to do a new search, and I just want to see everyone that has the tag may offer sign up. And if I click search, Judy with all those H's will show up because that's the criteria that I asked for. Pretty cool. You can make as many campaigns as you want. You can get as many free campaigns as you want. Let me go through another few slides and then I'll answer questions. This is a campaign. It's very, very scary to look at, but I'm going to put it under a microscope for you and really break it down. So there's other stuff in here like decision diamonds. There's a webinar that's on my YouTube channel that I will send you along with today's webinar that will go over decision diamonds. But all this campaign really is a goal that pushes to a sequence and stops everything on the left, to another goal that stops everything to the left and pushes them further on down the funnel to a sequence, to another goal, to another sequence, and to the last goal, and maybe they became a customer. There's lots of goals here. When a person reaches a goal, they go into the sequence that is attached to that goal. You don't have to put them all on one canvas. I would recommend that you don't put them on one canvas because then when something breaks, you have to go all the way around. You can't find it. But if you have it on different canvases, it's easier to find. Remember this one thing. Your simple one campaign is better than your complex none campaign. V1 is better than V none. We've had lots and lots and lots of people that have built a simple campaign and made lots and lots of money. Because on the right, all that really is a goal that pushes people into a sequence. And when they reach the next goal to the right, it stops everything on the left and moves them further on down the funnel. That's what a funnel is, pushing people through your process so you can educate them, get them to buy, and then nurture them or welcome them as a customer. You have to practice what's on the left, and you will definitely get to what's on the right, but you got to get into the Infusionsoft application and play around with it. So my challenge for you is build out a simple campaign, create it, publish it, automate with the campaign builder, test it out and put your name in it. If you have 5 friends on Facebook, say, hey, can you guys click on this link and sign up for this and see how this is working so I can test it out. You don't have to buy anything, just click on the link. I just want to see how it's working. And start all over again and make it real. Let me show you an example of what a form would look like on a real website. So this is Chris Beat Cancer. He's one of our real customers. We open up his website. So this pop-up comes up, but what I really want you to see is, here's that pop-up made separately from Infusionsoft. Here is his form right here. It says, please subscribe. You see his first name. You see his email. He has radio buttons here, and that goes into our Decision Diamond webinar. And then he changed the button to a rounded button that's blue with white lettering, subscribe. And that's a real form that's created inside of Infusionsoft. I'm going to go to my basic training channel, and you guys will have access to this after the webinar when I send you today's webinar. As you can see, there's yesterday's webinar and there's May 9th's webinar. I don't have a website, but I made a form inside of Infusionsoft because I want to start capturing leads. So what I did is went to my YouTube channel, and YouTube gives you a place where you can put in a link. I used the Infusionsoft hosted form, and so when people click on the marketing ideas right here in the right-hand bottom corner, if they click on that, a form will appear, and that form was created inside Infusionsoft. There's my title, there's my content, there's another title, there's the fields, and I made my button teal, and I put a little border around it and made my background teal too. That is created inside Infusionsoft, not paying any money to have something extra on YouTube. I'm just collecting leads organically when people go to my YouTube channel. Pretty cool. As soon as they fill this out, they're added into the automation. So those are 2 real examples of how to use our forms inside of Infusionsoft. Let me get to questions. So the WordPress goal is a goal that actually connects our Infusionsoft forms to your WordPress site so that you don't have to take the code and put it in. And there are different videos on how to use that if you go to our Help Center. So Felipe, if you lost that little walkthrough that said, hey, want to learn more about the WordPress goal, you can go to our Help Center and it will bring back up that video. Can you show the Facebook using the web form that you created? Can you show us your Facebook using the web form? I can. So let me show you that. I'm going to go to Campaign Builder. I'm going to come to my offer sign up. I'm going to change the form a little bit because nobody knows me from Adam here. So I'm going to put my logo on the form. So since it's not going on my website, people won't know who I am, so I want to make sure they do. So there's my cute little form. I'll make it bigger because it's going to go on Facebook. Perfect. republish because I made a change. I'm going to go back into edit, and now I need to get that URL. So this isn't a Facebook ad. This is just posting on Facebook. Code, use hosted version, and I'm going to copy this URL. I like to copy it like this. And now I'm going to open up my Facebook business page. It will automatically take me to my Facebook page. I'm going to go to my business page. Once I open up my business page, I come here and I can post that URL. Once you do that, you can come in and you can change. Get these ideas now. I can choose an image or it will just randomly pick one out. I hit publish, and now people can sign up for my instant marketing ideas or sign up for my offer just like that. If someone clicks on that, so you can doctor it up. If I had images in there, it would pick up images. You can choose an image. There's the form. People can fill it out, send offer now, and they'll automatically be into Infusionsoft. So that's how you can use that. If you're doing a Facebook ad, you would go into Infusionsoft and you would actually grab the code, the URL, and put that in your Facebook ad. Can you mix delay timers, date timers, and field timers? You cannot mix timers. So let me show you that real quick. It's kind of like you can't mate a dog and a cat. You can't mix timers, and here's why. If you put down a 3-day delay and then you put in a timer for May 5th, May 5th is already over. It's going to break the campaign. So you cannot mix timers. If you need 2 separate timers in a campaign, these are going to go off on specific delays. Now I want things to go off on certain dates. Come down to the bottom and pick another start. And now I want to use a date timer. Connect them, and this one I want to go off on May 15th. So if they sign up, they get an email immediately, then 2 days later they get an email, then 3 days later they get another email. But this one they're going to get on a specific date. If they sign up after May 15th, they won't get that email because it's set up for a specific date. Date timers and field timers and delay timers cannot be put in one string. It won't let you. If you try, it won't let you do it. You have to get another start and create another string. We have another question. If you have a sequence that might be on multiple campaigns, but you need to make a change, so you don't have to change multiple times in the campaign. So Sonia, if you have a campaign inside of Infusionsoft and you want to change it, it's not going to change if you're using the sequence. It's not going to change if you're using that same sequence in another campaign. It's not going to change the changes. So if you want to make changes, the best thing to do is make the changes in one sequence. So make the changes here. And then, so this is called Welcome and Offer Series. So I go and make the changes here. I'm going to change the Buy Now button to make the changes here. Republish the campaign. Because it will not pick up the changes until you republish it. This is called Welcome and Offer Series. So if I go into another campaign and I want to copy that same sequence, I come to Actions, Copy from Campaign. I already made the changes. I want to copy it from my offer sign up, and the sequence I want is Welcome. Now it's in there, and that email will be saved, and it will make the changes, and it says Get it now. And I don't see any other questions. I don't see any other questions. We have about 2 minutes left. So I will be sending you this video. I will also be sending you the video on decision diamonds so that you guys can see if you want someone to be able to make a decision in the web form. I have a cat, I have a dog. I'm a yoga advanced, yoga beginner, yoga, just checking it out. You'll be able to set up automation based on what they choose. I'll be sending you both of those videos with all the goodies that I promised, and we have one more question. Can we sign up for this class again next week? Carrie, you can come to this class every week. Felipe comes every week, and it's awesome. I hope that he learns something different every time. So Felipe, can you set up recurring same date of the month reminders? You can set up anything you want in the campaign builder. Let me get back in it. And if you go to the YouTube channel, there's lots of videos in there that will go over other things inside Infusionsoft that I've recorded and just added to that. But if I go to my campaign builder, so I'm going to call this monthly reminders. I'm going to start this campaign out with a tag. Put in my sequence. Name my sequence monthly reminders. And now are you going to be sending emails or are you going to be creating a task for yourself? If you're going to be creating emails, it would start out this is going to go out on May 15th. And here's the email that I want to send out to my customer. The next one's going to go out on June 15th. And so on. If you want to set up reminders for yourself, like tasks for yourself, let me start a different string. I need my timer. Double-click my timer and set this up for May 15th. And then I'm going to create a task. Connect, and the task is gray. Oh, we haven't seen this yet. Double-click. This is going to be a other. Send out your monthly newsletter with the people with the NL tag. Assign it to your owner. You do always have to assign backup. You don't have to put days till due because it's going to send you the task on the 15th of May. If you want to put a time, you can put a time like 8 o'clock in the morning, but that's not really necessary. Just get it done today. I trust you. The priority is critical. You want to get your newsletter sent out. You want to get a notification email to remind you and set it ready. And now your task is done. And on the 15th of the month, you'll get that task. Put in the next date. Double click. This one's going to go out in June 15th. And then I can right click the task, make a duplicate, double click it, and it will fill up the same stuff. Set it ready, go back to sequence, and dun-da-da, you just made a complete workflow task for every month to remind you to do something. Pretty cool, right, Felipe? Dominique said, when sending email reminders, is there an option for people to unsubscribe? There is an option for people to unsubscribe. We have to have that. It's a CAN Spam Act. So if you notice inside any template you choose, there's an unsubscribe button. And that will automatically take them out of any automation that you have. So thank you for joining me. It's 11:01. Oh my gosh, you had to have me for an hour and a minute. Thank you for joining me. Barney said he learned a lot and he liked the layer process, so I'm glad. There's lots of videos on the YouTube channel. Once you have access to it, it's how to put a web form on a website. I get deeper into the web, how how to create a web form. Can you personalize the unsubscribe message? You can. Just go into settings under marketing settings and you can unsubscribe. I mean, you can edit that. You can't edit the link because the link is already created, but you can edit the content. So thank you for joining me. Thank you so much for being an Infusionsoft customer. Have a great weekend, and hopefully I'll see you next week, but they are the same webinars each week. So if you guys want more topics, just put it up in the question box, the topics that you want, and I'll see if I can get permission to create those. And if you're not added to our Small Business Success Academy, which is a free learning channel, learning center for you, please send me your app name and I will get that. I'll get you signed up. I signed up people yesterday. Judy, what's my app name? If you open up your Infusionsoft app and go up to your browser window, it's this little code right here before Infusionsoft.com. So mine is HB202. Just put your app name in the question section and I will get you signed up. It's free, has lots of stuff in it too. So thank you for joining me. Have a wonderful day and have a great weekend, and bye-bye.